What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's dive into Monday Night Raw from May the 20th, 2024. An okay show. So we kicked the show off with Chad Gable, and he puts over the triple threat match involving him, Bronson Reed, and Chad Gable. So Sami Zayn says that he's got two big problems to deal with. One is personal, involving Chad Gable. The other one is just business with Bronson Reed. Sami Zayn says that Chad Gable has an ass kicking coming. As for Bronson Reed, it's not personal. Bronson Reed doesn't care about Chad Gable or Sami Zayn's family. He just wants the title. Sami Zayn says that Chad Gable is the mind. The body is Bronson Reed, and the soul is Sami Zayn himself. He said if he had to be a betting man, he's going to bet on Soul every single time. Soul is the reason is why he's holding the title, and he's going to retain the championship at King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia. So Chad Gable, he comes out and he berates Maxine Dupree, Otis, and Akira Tozawa. And then Sami Zayn said he's heard enough from Chad Gable. He's tired of it. His main focus is on Alpha Academy. He says, how much longer are they going to deal with Chad Gable's crap? Chad Gable tells Sami Zayn not to talk to the Alpha Academy because he knows that Sami Zayn is just trying to drive a wedge. He said his journey is to reestablish respect for the Alpha Academy. So Chad Gable is sick and tired of listening to Sami Zayn talk about his heart and soul. He says in Saudi Arabia, he doesn't have to pin Sami Zayn to win the championship, but he's going to pin him. And Chad Gable says he's going to take Sami Zayn's soul. So Sami Zayn says, Saudi Arabia is in 5 days. Let's just go ahead and do this right here, right now. So then this leads us into our first match of the night with Chad Gable defeating Sami Zayn via the help of Otis. So Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree, they dipped out earlier on in the match. They were just tired of it. They bounced. So Chad Gable slaps the shit out of Otis for a second week in a row. And Otis, I believe he clotheslines Sami Zayn. And this allowed for Chad Gable to hit the Chaos Theory for 1, 2, 3. And so Chad Gable wins. This kind of makes sense, even though I'm not a big fan of champions losing. But I get where they're going with it storyline-wise, so this does make sense. I'm guessing we're probably going to get Gable defeating Sami Zayn. It probably won't happen at Saudi Arabia. It'll probably happen maybe sometime in June. So maybe Sami Zayn loses the championship in June to Chad Gable. And then throughout the summer, we see Chad Gable feud with Otis. I think that would be great because Otis is still over. He's been over for a minute. Even back in the pandemic, he was over still. So Otis is cool. I'm a fan of Otis. I like him. So this is all right. Moving on. So EO Sky, she has a video package and she says that she's been champion of the world, but now she's ready for her crown. Damage Control took over SmackDown. Once she's a queen, everyone will be on Raw. Everyone on Raw will have no choice but to bow down, especially Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria is soaring now, but she's flown too close to the sun. She's the genius of the sky. Soon she'll be Queen of the Ring. Okay, that's fine. Moving on. So Jackie Redmond is backstage with Alpha Academy. So Chad Gable is pleased. Jackie Redmond asks about Otis' involvement. So we then immediately go to seeing Cruz del Toro and the rest of the LWO just laying down on the ground, being hurt. So this is kind of cool. Makes sense, I guess. Not really all the much of a fan of the LWO type shit, but it's fine. Moving on, Bron Breakker destroyed a jobber by the name of Kale Nixon. He absolutely destroyed him. He hit not one, not two, but three spears. One in the ring, one on the outside, and another one in the ring again when he ran the ropes. Braun wins via referee stoppage. Post-match, Bron Breakker attempts to beat the guy down with steel steps, but officials get involved, and he hits him with a steel chair instead, and this was great. What do we do with Bron Breakker going forward? I have no idea. Adam Pearce was pierced about this, so it might be a simple fact that Braun might be switched back to SmackDown. That's what it seems like, because I'm pretty sure Pearce isn't going to tolerate any disrespect or any chaos or whatever. But Braun doing this kicked major ass, and I think him being back on SmackDown would be good. We'll see, but it was fun. It was kind of cool. Moving on, so Adam Pearce, he's backstage trying to put Kel Dixon in the ambulance. So Kiana James walks up. She wanted to help out Adam Pearce. He's like, no, I'm busy right now. So Adam Pearce is looking for Bron Breakker. Adam Pearce asked Bron what was he thinking. Bron says Pearce can't control him. Pearce didn't book him in to King of the Ring. That's on Pearce, and then Bron Breakker walks off. This is great. This actually makes sense. I love this. Moving on. So, Lyra Valkyria defeated Io Sky. She was going for the Night Wish, and she counted that into a roll-up, which was great. So I did like that. That was pretty cool. Io and her had a really good match. I like Lyra Valkyria. I wish she would get rid of this damn happy-go-lucky character. I don't like that shit. It's very boring, and it's just not a good look. But Lyra winning is the right move, if we're being honest. What do you do with Io going forward? I have no idea. But Lyra winning here makes sense. It does. And I could see her winning the finals. I really could. I know some people have Nia Jax slated to win, but there's a chance that Lyra could pull it off, because it doesn't really matter who wins and loses the King and Queen of the Ring tournament, because there was nothing established for the winners. So, I don't know. I think in King and Queen of the Ring, we're going to have a heel win it and babyface win. There's no point having two heels win or two babyfaces win. Just have one heel and one babyface win. That's it. I would go with Lyra and Gunther. I think that would be fine. Post-match, so Lyra was just happy that she won. She said that she's just one Nightwing away from being the Queen of the Ring. All right, that's fine. Moving on, more comedy stuff involving R-Truth. So he's talking nonsense with Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. So the Miz walks up, and then New Catcher Republic, they walk out. So Miz says they need to focus on the Judgment Day. R-Truth says he's got it figured out. He's talked to his good buddy Andre the Giant. He's got their back. Miz says Andre passed away 30 years ago. R-Truth is confused, saying, trust me. And then Miz says they could use the Andre the Giant in spirit tonight. And then R-Truth asks, who is he talking to? I'm kind of tired of Awesome Truth. I mean, it's kind of worn off on me. I get the comedy segments, but it's just not as fun anymore. They need to really do something with R-Truth. They need to really cough up those tag team championships quick, fast, in a hurry. They really do. I'm not going to hold you guys up. Moving on. Kayla Braxton is backstage with Ilya Dragunov. Dragunov's unhappy about losing in the King of the Ring quarterfinals. There is no shame in losing to a man who refers himself as the main event. His opponent is the person who sets the bar. You need to break yourself to beat him. He's talking about Gunther. So Ricochet walks up to Dragunov and tells him that they set the bar really high. Just because Dragunov got the best of him once doesn't mean it's over by a long shot. And then Braun out of nowhere spears the shit out of Ricochet through a road crate, which was great. I love that. Really good shit there. So Bron Breakker causing chaos and being unhinged, that kicks ass. Moving on. So trainers, they're attending to Ricochet. Adam Pearce stands by with Ilya Dragunov. And then Adam Pearce doesn't look happy. And then Dragunov is bizarrely rubbing his wrist. Makes sense, I guess. This is fine. Again, there could be a chance as to where maybe Braun is switched back to SmackDown and maybe AJ Styles goes to Raw. That could be a possibility. I don't know. That would be nice. But we'll see where it leads to. Moving on. So Gunther, he was in the arena earlier on in the day, in an empty arena. So Gunther says he made fun of Jey Uso for his simple gestures for simple people, but he has turned himself into a star. The people will fill Jey with delusions tonight, but the bad news is Gunther is going to drag them to reality. Tonight, it's not about the most exciting act. It's about who's the better professional wrestler is. He's already the general of the sacred ring. Soon he'll be the king of the ring. Which I do think that Gunther is going to be the main guy to win. If Drew was not injured, I would go with Drew. But Gunther is a good second choice. I don't think that Randy's going to win. I really don't. It's going to be a good match nonetheless. But Gunther's the man to win. He's the man. Moving on. More Judgment Day garbage. So, Damian Priest, he's backstage with Dirty Dom, Finn Balor, and JD McDonough. Damian Priest says that he heard what Carlito did to Cruz del Toro. Del Toro is going to be out for a while, meaning the LWO will be pissed and looking for him. Carlito says he's trying to lay low until the heat dies down. Damian Priest says he missed the sign that says that says APA. They're not his personal protection agency. So Dom reminds Damian Priest that Carlito came through for the guys last week. Damian Priest tells Carlito to keep earning his keep, and then they walk off. So Damian Priest and Balor, they're alone. Balor wishes that Damian Priest was out there with him tonight. They bump fists, and then Finn Balor walks off. Carlito asks Damian Priest if he saw the New York Knicks game. He said it was a tough break. And then Damian Priest asks what's wrong with him, and then he walks off. And then Carlito shouts and asks if they're still cool. What the hell? Just dumbass shit. Moving on. So, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, they're backstage. When Sonya Deville, who we haven't seen in a while, in 9 months, she approaches them. So she wants to talk to them, but Shayna Baszler says they're not interested in what she's selling, and then they walk off. So this is actually fine. I love Sonya Deville, but I wish we would have got a vignette for her, or a couple of vignettes for her, making her return. I mean, this is fine, but I'm more of a vignette guy. Let's just go with some vignettes. But maybe they're going to do something where she's the manager of Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Maybe that will get them over, because by themselves, they collectively suck ass. As a collective, they suck ass, and then by themselves, they suck ass. So, I don't know. So, hopefully, Sonya Deville can help out. And I know she's been through a lot, with her injury. And then what happened with her in the pandemic, with her house getting broken into and all that jazz. So, yeah. But Sonya Deville has always been a solid wrestler and a good talker. So, hopefully, Triple H will have some plans for her, but I highly doubt it. Moving on, the Awesome Truth, they defeated the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Who gives a damn? This is a waste of time. So Braun Strowman came out and he beat up Carlito and JD McDonough. So next week, JD McDonough is going to have to face off against Braun Strowman. Yawn, who gives a damn? Moving on. So Becky Lynch, she's celebrating backstage with Lyra Valkyria. So Becky Lynch bumps Lyra, and she pumps up Lyra, says that she's got this. Lyra then walks off, and then she stops in front of Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan sarcastically congratulates Lyra Valkyria. Liv Morgan talks about how Becky Lynch snuck up and attacked her last week while they were talking. Liv Morgan pretends that Becky Lynch is behind Lyra Valkyria, and then she blindsides her with her right hand. So, who cares? I really don't care about this, if we're being honest. Moving on. So, Sami Zayn, he's in deep thought. So Bronson Reed walks in, and he tells him to not worry about Chad Gable and his mind games. They're all they are is games. All he cares about is business. Balance is how he makes his money, and he'll use his body as a weapon and get his biggest payday yet. So, Sami Zayn sees Otis. Sami Zayn says he expected more from Otis. He expected that crap from Chad Gable, but not from Otis. Sami Zayn wants to know if Otis is proud of himself. Otis apologizes to Sami Zayn. Zayn says that he knows that Otis is sorry. He knows that he's a good guy. Chad Gable's not a good guy. He knows the position Otis is in. Sami Zayn's been in those shoes before. The sooner Otis stops listening to Chad Gable and starts listening to the people, the better off he'll be. So that's great. I like that. Really good stuff. I love what they're doing with Otis. What I don't like is the promo between Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. Boring as shit. So, I'm going to shorten this. So, Becky talks about her 22-year career and everything else, and all the stuff she's done from WWE and everything. How Liv's done really not much of anything. So, Becky wants to know if Liv Morgan does somehow defeat her at King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia, what's her next move? What's her plan once she gets her revenge? So Liv Morgan says Becky Lynch is delusional. So Liv Morgan says that Lynch is the most selfish person in the company. Becky Lynch doesn't care about the fans or the company. And she says that Becky only cares about herself. Blah, 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 blah. So Liv Morgan says after 10 long, hard years in WWE, she'll finally sit where she belongs at the top of the division as new women's champion. So Becky just talks crap to Liv Morgan. She says, you don't bring the people into this. You can't trick the people. They know she gives her best and puts her body on the line all the time for them. They're all here for her. So Becky just wants to fight, and then Liv Morgan acts like she's about it, and then she's like, nah, we're not going to do it right now. And she just says, cry about it. This is lame. I hate this shit. This is lame. Not a fan of Liv Morgan. Not a fan of Becky Lynch. Just not. I'm just not. No. And the fact that Liv Morgan's been there for 10 years, I don't know, man. I thought she'd been there for at least maybe 7 years, maybe. But she's been there 10 years, 2014. Because I forgot she did time in NXT. I think she did time in NXT for about, was it a year and a half or was it 2 years? I think it was 2 years. Because she got brought up to the main roster in 2016. So, yeah. It is what it is. But moving on. So, Damian Priest demands an explanation with what happened. So, Damian Priest told Carlito to handle his keep. Dirty Dom says JD was supposed to handle Braun Strowman. JD asked what Dom wants from him. So Damian Priest tells JD McDonough to go to Adam Pearce and ask for a match against Braun Strowman next week. Damian Priest says he doesn't recognize them anymore, and he walks off. Finn Balor calls after him, but Damian Priest doesn't return. Finn Balor says Priest is right. The wheels are coming off, and JD McDonough needs to talk to Adam Pearce. I don't give a damn about any of this. It's time to end the Judgment Day. Enough is enough. It's just time to end this shit. Moving on. So the Doctor is backstage. He's checking on Xavier Woods. He clears him for action. So Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, they celebrate. Kofi Kingston leaves the room. Karrion Kross and Scarlett, they appear. They walk up to Xavier Woods. So Karrion Kross reminds Xavier Woods that there's always more time to turn things around, and then that was it. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what do you mean by this shit? This is random. I have no idea what they're going with this at all. I just don't. At this point, just put Karrion Kross and Scarlett back down in NXT. Moving on, Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, they defeated Damage Control, which is Kairi Sane and Dakota Kai, Ivy Nile, Maxine Dupree, and Casey Squared. They won the number one contenders fatal 4-way. Who gives a damn? I don't give a single fuck about this shit. Moving on. So Kayla Braxton, she's backstage with Ludwig Kaiser. She asked if the Ring General was overlooking Jey Uso. Kaiser says Gunther is superior to everyone. He hopes that Jey takes the loss better than Sheamus. Sheamus is nothing more than a keyboard warrior. Sheamus' career is going to end at home, or will he come back just to have Kaiser put him down like old Yeller? And then Ludwig Kaiser walks off. So I do like that. That was funny. So Drew McIntyre, he was on the show. You wouldn't know it though, but he's on the show. So he walks up to Kayla Braxton. Drew McIntyre wonders what he's doing here. Adam Pearce is in his infinite wisdom chose not to book one of his biggest superstars. People want Drew McIntyre, so he'll give it to them. Let's talk about the paper champion, Damian Priest. Damian Priest cannot run over him, but he's got his world championship rematch. Drew McIntyre plays chess, and Damian Priest plays with his guy liner. Damian Priest is spreading himself too thin. Like Seth Rollins, soon he'll beat Damian Priest like Seth Rollins. Interesting stuff. Moving on. So Chad Gable, he's trading stories with the Creed brothers. So Otis approaches him. Chad Gable sends the Creed brothers away and tells them to think about what he said. In the background, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark are seen talking to Shayna Baszler. My bad, not Shayna Baszler. Sonya Deville. So Chad Gable is happy to see Otis and refers him as his number one guy. Otis says he apologized to Sami Zayn, but Chad Gable thinks he's just trying to soften up Sami Zayn before Saturday. And then Chad Gable makes Otis say he'll get the Intercontinental Championship no matter what. Interesting stuff. So I do like all this stuff that took place. The Creed brothers and Chad Gable, they're going to make that into a thing. I'm down for that shit. Let's go. That's going to be some really good shit right there. Moving on. So Jey Uso, he came out. He said him and Gunther have unfinished business. He almost had Gunther the last time they faced. Gunther would catch a yeet down, and Jey will catch a crowd. Jey bangs on the garage door and raises it up for him. Jey's pumping himself up and walking backstage. And then this leads us into the main event. Jey Uso versus Gunther. Gunther wins. This is fine. Makes sense. So, that makes sense. So he put Jey to sleep with the rear naked choke. That's fine. I love how Gunther has no finisher. I love that. Great shit. Gunther is going to be the main one to win King of the Ring. It makes sense. Again, I don't see Randy Orton winning. But the show was okay for the most part. It was alright. It was okay. Not too much King and Queen of the Ring stuff. Bron Breakker destroying a jobber was fun, but they needed to figure out what they're going to do with Bron going forward. And that was basically it. But what did you guys think about the show? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.